it doesn't matter all the time how much you're slaying out. I'm like, dude, it's the fundamentals. It's how you play. They just, as a team, like we've said so much, they're not really a good looking team on paper, but man, the way they play together, it's great. They have it really figured out. They know what they're doing.
We've had our glory days on all these games. Like, I don't see why I need to go back. I'm not going to replicate that feeling that the time that I was playing that game.
Yeah, because there's something to be said about when that's the game and that's the grind. If I loaded up Cold War, there's nothing to grind. It's an old game. I'm not driven in a sense. I don't care about it anymore. I'm like, again, it had its time when that was the prime game to play and I was motivated, but now there's no motivation for me to play it anymore. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 207 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike.
I'm Justin.
Justin, how we doing, bro?
Doing all right. You know, had a nice weekend. It was Chinese/Lunar New Year's, so we celebrated a little bit early, me and my family.
Nice.
So it was nice. Chilled out, watched some football. Won't get into that.
I was gonna say, you know me. People listening maybe don't know. I really am not invested in football that much. However, I did keep up with this. Justin, give me your immediate thoughts. What are you thinking about this Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl here? Are you excited for this? Are you not excited?
It's a rematch of a couple years ago, so we've already seen it. The Chiefs won. Eagles are gonna win this time, and yeah, I mean, I'll out myself. I am an Eagles fan, but I'm also a Patriots fan, which is holy yeah.
Right.
Like, I can't believe it. But that's because, I mean, I'm a Patriots fan because I'm from Massachusetts. I'm an Eagles fan because, like, growing up, for some reason, anytime I played like NFL Street or Madden, like, I always picked the Eagles, and for some reason, every time I watched football, the Eagles were on.
Right.
So I just like latched onto that team as like one of my favorite teams. Now that I'm older, I realize, oh, like the Patriots hate the Eagles, like, you know. But
Right.
also people hate teams that win a lot. So I've been blessed with a lot of championships as a Patriots fan, and like the Eagles have won a lot too. So
Right.
but so a lot of people hate the Chiefs. I thought the Bills were going to beat the Chiefs and finally end their reign. And it didn't happen. They fell short again. I feel really bad for that guy, Josh Allen, because Josh Allen's a quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, if people don't know. And this dude has lost to Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs 4 times in a row. 4 times in a row to make it to the Super Bowl. He's that close.
Right.
And he's only lost to him. And this year was probably like the best chance that they had of beating the Chiefs because they haven't looked good all year. Their record's insane, but
Right.
on paper, like, they don't look that good. They're just making the least amount of mistakes, and anytime a team makes a mistake, they always capitalize. And
Right.
Josh Allen and the Bills, they're the only team in my eyes technically that beat the Chiefs during the regular season because they went 13-2, I think, or 15-2, something like that. No, 15-2, which is crazy. The only reason why they lost the second game is because it was right before the playoffs, and the Chiefs pulled all their starters. So they just had random ass players out there that aren't starters, so they lost.
Right.
But the Bills were the only team that beat them in the regular season. I'm like, they're going to do it. They can win. And they fell short again by a couple of points. Again, every time they played, a couple points, like a touchdown or a field goal, always. Now it's a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl, and a lot of people are actually boycotting this because they hate the Eagles just as much. And I'm like, nah. Like,
Dude, that's for gays. What?
a lot of New Englanders are boycotting the
Yeah.
Super Bowl because, like, I hate the Chiefs and I hate the Eagles. And I'm like, yeah, I want the Eagles to win. I don't like
Right.
I'm a fan of the Eagles, and also I don't hate the Chiefs as much as everyone else. I just don't want to see them win again. Like, because if they win again, they've won the Super Bowl 3 times in a row, and that's never been done before in NFL history. So it'd be crazy. but a lot of people hate the Chiefs because of them winning all the time, and also they hate Travis Kelce and the Taylor
The
Swift stuff.
Swifties, yeah.
And I'm like, who give? I don't know. Personally, I don't give a fuck. Like that doesn't bother me as much when they pan over to Taylor Swift. I'm like, okay. People get
Dude,
really mad about that though.
isn't it insane that people get, like, tilted about that?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
I
know.
don't get that. Who gives a shit,
I don't know. It's
you
never
know?
bothered me, but people get really mad about it. They're like, "Show
Right,
football." I'm like, "I agree, show football. Get rid of the fucking commercials then." Like, I don't
right.
wanna be that's why
Yeah,
they're
and,
showing her.
like, man, I don't watch a ton of football, but I like, obviously you can't avoid that, like, knowing that people hate on the Swifties and hate on,
Mhm,
like, on, Kansas City because of that, but it's like, dude, how much are they showing her in, like, the span of an entire game? Like,
mhm.
bro, come
Well,
on. Like, it's
well
not, they're probably
yeah, yeah.
not, like to what you're saying. Yeah, bro,
Mhm.
if you got a problem with like, let's watch the game, it's like, dude, let's get rid of the fucking commercials. Like, that's
Yeah.
the main thing. Who cares about like a couple of times that they pan over to her,
Mhm.
whatever, you know?
That's the thing. They're like, "Oh, Travis Kelce scores." They'll pan over to her and see her
Right over to
reaction.
her,
I'm
right away.
like,
Yeah.
I don't give like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't bother me that much, but
Yeah. Yeah.
or like honestly at all. Like I could care less. But what's crazy is like Taylor Swift literally is like a music icon and can shift like whole like economies.
Yeah.
And like legit, like if she comes and does like a tour in the city, like
Oh, yeah.
she'll like the amount of money that they bring in for that one day
Right.
is insane for that state
Yeah.
or
No
city.
doubt.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be watching it. The Eagles are winning. Like, there's no way they lose 2 times in a row to them. So
Right.
I'll be rooting for the Eagles, and there's a whole storyline too with the Eagles, which is insane. I'll let you know because you probably don't know like the storyline.
No, no, I have no
Um,
idea.
if you hate the Eagles, you have to at least cheer for this one guy. So there's this guy Saquon Barkley,
I know the name.
running back, arguably, well, especially this season, best running back in the entire league by far.
Really.
Um, he was on the New York Giants before. The New York Giants drafted him actually, and they're like, "Sorry if you're a Giants fan, they're a poverty franchise. They can't fucking win anything. They got no quarter. Like they just suck. They got lucky the 2 times they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Because
That's
they had,
all.
what was his name? Eli Manning, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that team was like those teams were actually good. Now the Giants they got nothing, and I think every Giants fan can admit they suck.
Right.
Uh, but so Saquon was drafted by the Giants. He's been on the Giants his entire career. And Giants and Eagles play in the same division, and they are huge rivals. They hate each other. And uh over the offseason, the Giants decided, "Oh, we're running out of like cap space, like so in terms of like contract money. So if they release Saquon, they'll free up some more cap space." Because he's like, I'm the best running in the league with the shittiest defense in the league. They were ranked like I think 31st or 32nd defense in the league.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, O line in the league. And you need a good offensive line for your running back to do
Actually
anything.
do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but he still like shined. So
Right.
he's insanely good. So
Which shows how good he was.
yeah, pay him the money. And they're like, you know what? Let him test the market. There's no way that other teams will want to pay him that much. Well, they're very wrong. A lot of teams wanted him because he's one of the best running backs in the league. Eagles decided to sign him, and the Giants said, "All right, you can go. We don't need you."
Wow.
And I'm like, this was like crazy during the offseason. It's like CDL offseason.
Right.
But so he signed with the Eagles, rivalry team. This is his first year playing for the Eagles, and
Here they are.
he nearly broke the single uh rushing record in the NFL this season, his first season with the Eagles. And he didn't because the Eagles decided to not play him on the last game of the year because they knew they had a chance to go to the Super Bowl, so they didn't want to risk him getting injured.
Makes sense.
But the team that he would have broken the record on was the Giants.
Mm.
And he was like, nope, I'm going to sit out for the better of the team. Not going to do it. Now he makes it to the first NFC championship, wins the NFC championship, is now going to the Super Bowl, and the Giants are just like looking at him Like, wow, he did this in 1 year. Like, it
He's
left
over
the
here
team.
like
Yeah, yeah. And if they beat the Chiefs, which I do think the Eagles will beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs just don't look as strong as they used to be, and their running defense, it hasn't been that good. And Saquon's just running over everyone, like running through every defense. If he wins a Super Bowl and then wins Super Bowl MVP, that's just like the biggest FU to the
Du
Giants organization.
dude, side note, I just looked him up. Dude, he has the same birthday as me. Hell yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, February 9th,
Yeah,
97. Dude,
that's a Super
uh,
Bowl.
oh, it's on my birthday. Hell yeah,
Yeah,
dude. It's gonna be a good
I
ass
think it's
day.
February 9th. I think it's
Let me go see when is the Super Bowl. Uh, actually, oh yeah, it is. Wow,
yeah.
there you go.
Um,
Sick,
dude, so we could win all of that and just
dude. How
the
dope
Giants
would
are
that,
just looking there.
bro? Can you imagine that if he wins that on his birthday, the
Yeah,
first time he ever makes it to the Super Bowl?
yeah,
Like that would be insane.
yeah,
I can't because I didn't know any of this.
mhm,
The Giants are faded.
yeah.
Like,
So
you would have thought that they would have protected him at all costs and built around him,
so
and then they could have been something.
the owner, there's a clip because they do like a docu series thing called Hard Knocks,
Okay.
and it's basically the behind the scenes of all these decisions. And there's a clip of the owner of the Giants, that said, "I would just be really upset if he goes to the Eagles."
Wow.
And the general manager of the Giants, his name's Joe Shane. Uh, he was like, no one's gonna pay him this. Like, let him test the
Wow.
market. Yeah, he was very, very wrong.
Damn, that's unbelievable. What a
Yeah,
f what a fatal mistake by
I,
them.
I I'm very surprised at like how cutthroat the NFL is, that he still has a job.
Yeah,
That guy, the
right?
general manager. Like,
Yeah, because it's like, dude, that's your whole job, and then you just have a complete lapse in judgment,
mhm.
you
Yeah,
know? It's not like he's
yeah.
some diamond in the rough, where it's like, he may have the potential, it's just not realized.
No,
It's
he's a
like
superstar. He is
yeah,
like
you
the
know?
guy. Yeah,
Exactly.
but his justification was, let's invest money into our offensive line because we need a quarterback. Because like they were paying this guy Daniel Jones like a ton of money, so he was also taking a large percentage of like their cap. So they were like, okay, if we're paying him all this money, we should invest in an O line to protect him. So they were faced between protecting their star quarterback or keeping their star running back. But guess what? Their star quarterback, they got rid of the same season. They got rid of him. So now they have to
Damn.
pay out all that extra money that like they
Yeah, yeah.
lost on so much. Um, yeah, so they have no quarterback. They have like a decent running back now. Like, he's a rookie. He was good this year, but they had the best running back in the league and got rid of him.
You you see, like, the way I mean, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or what I'm saying on this, but I feel like in that situation, what the Giants should have done is they should have kept him and be like, "Look, we're gonna try to build around you. Like, we may need to like, we understand how much you want,
Mhm.
like money-wise, but we don't have it. But what we're willing to do is if we pay you less, we're gonna take that money and invest in getting a lot better players to give you a chance to like make it farther on this team." Like,
Mhm.
to go and like potentially win a championship or make it to the Super Bowl, you
Mhm.
know? Like that's what you'd think that you would do if you're able to
Yeah.
do that, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Well,
wouldn't people want to go to the Giants too? Like other people who are like they play in the league, even if they're not
mhm.
like, obviously a running back, if they're like,
Mhm.
on the offensive line, wouldn't they be like, oh shit, like, dude, this guy's fucking insane. Like if we went and teamed up with him, like we could make it far.
Yeah. I mean, that's a thought. Like, the only thing is you want to build around your quarterback, because
Okay.
the
Yeah.
quarterback is, I mean, that's the offense.
Right.
Running backs have always been gypped for, like, I'm not going to say rightfully so, but like your quarterback is your king. You
Right.
have to find a star quarterback. A running back can only take you so far.
Right.
And I mean,
That makes sense.
the Eagles have a great quarterback. They have a great offensive line. They have a great running back. Like, They have everything. Uh, and the Giants in general, I can't believe they like let go of everything. They lost so much, and now they have to rebuild completely again.
Yeah, dude, and it's like, well, that's the funniest part about it, right? Is it
Mhm.
seems like they have to go and do that when they literally could have had a God Squad team like within a couple of years if they just played their cards right.
Yeah, and draft right. That's a problem. And when they
Right.
drafted, hindsight, but they missed out on a star quarterback because the star quarterback that they could have drafted made it to the NFC Championship,
Yeah.
and he lost to the Eagles. But he was a
Right.
rookie, and he made it to the NFC Championship.
Who did they play?
The Commanders, the
Yeah.
Washington Commanders. This guy's a rookie
That
quarterback, and he made it to the NFC Championship.
what's
It
his
was
name?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. Okay.
So the Giants could have had him.
Gonna look him up
They
too.
could have had him, but they did not draft him.
Right. And that's what you're saying too, obviously, like that's kind of a hindsight move,
Yeah,
but still you do your
but
research, you know? It's
he
like,
that guy was already like a top prospect. That's the thing, and like
yeah.
people passed up on him. And there's another clip from Hard Knocks where his kids were in his office, and they're talking about the draft, and his son was like, "You need to do everything to draft Jaden Daniels. That guy's a
Oh,
stud." He was like, "You
dude.
need to draft him." They
Yeah,
didn't draft him.
bro. What the fuck is going on at that organization, bro?
Yeah, this year, like the fact that they have all these clips makes it so bad for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So bad for them.
They look so dumb.
So many memes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing too is, I'm pretty sure Saquon's like agent came up to them and was like, here's a number. This is what he wants. And they said, we'll match this number, but we'll let him test the market. Because they were like, sort of gambling that other teams didn't want him or
Right,
pay him, obviously, right?
right.
So they had leverage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like teams wanted to pay him that much
Yeah, and
and were
yeah,
willing
or
to.
they probably paid him, did they pay him more than that?
I know, I think it was the same amount.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, it's like the fact that you even let him explore,
Right. It's
why
over.
wouldn't you go to a better team that's offering you the same amount?
Right,
Like
right.
you have a better clearly, he has a better chance with the Eagles getting paid the same amount to go to the Super
Right.
Bowl.
Yeah. Well, it's the case too. It's like, bringing it to COD for a second, it's like Scrap and Envoy, you
Mhm.
know, like them being given the opportunity off of Ultra, like where they didn't get the results that they wanted to. And then they're hearing that there's a chance of this insane super team that's going to be able to support them. And it's like, I think Ultra did give them the chance to go and explore other
Mhm.
options. Um, and they were like, yep, fuck that. Like they
Yeah.
immediately just jump ship. It's like, dude, yeah, I don't care. Like, yeah, we're getting paid the same amount, maybe, but dude, look who I'm playing with. Like the
Mhm.
potential that, like, of how far I could go.
Mhm.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
they're
that's the
so
thing.
stupid.
They could have. I don't know if he would have stayed if they threw him like even like paid him
Right,
more, like
right.
millions more. I don't know because that dude got like an insane deal, got like a mega contract, and now he's in the Super Bowl.
Super max.
Yeah, but he got the same contract that he had with the Giants, and now he's going to the
Yeah,
Super Bowl in
yeah.
his first year. Like that just shows how good he actually is.
Are there any players that this is his first year in the NFL? Are there any players that have gone into the NFL their first year and won the Super Bowl? Has that ever
Uh
happened?
Not that like I can think of from like our time being alive.
Right.
I'm gonna say no. There's no shot.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna see.
Well,
Um,
the actually no. Rookies,
no.
yes,
Well, it
but
says no rookie
yeah,
quarterbacks.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Um,
No rookie quarterback, yeah. But rookies, yeah, because you get drafted lucky to do
right,
well.
right, right. Yeah. In this case, they're saying no rookie quarterback. Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
saying
no
that.
rookie
But
quarterback.
yeah, some
That
guy
guy
in here
Jaden
used to.
Daniels was one game away from making it
Right.
to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. I just went into the realm of Reddit and that was dangerous
Mhm.
for a second. They started getting crazy. Bro, you
Yeah,
fucking.
yeah, could you imagine being like, you get drafted, all the rookies that got drafted to the Chiefs like the past 2 years,
Right. I was
like you
riding
can,
the wave. Just
yeah, they're
riding the
like
wave.
Super Bowl's easy.
Well, same thing, dude, when we had Brady on the
Yeah,
Pats, it was like same thing. These people are just like, who are we teaming with? We're teaming
yeah,
with the God Squad. Like, yeah,
yeah.
dude, sign me up.
Yeah.
Like, that's an easy ride.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna be with you, though. I'm cheering for the Eagles,
Mhm,
mainly because my dad's is from Pennsylvania, and he's
mhm,
always been an Eagles fan, like, since day one. He's the same as you. He's like he liked New England,
mhm.
but then anytime that they would lose, like, which I mean, when we grew up, that wasn't really, like,
Yeah.
that wasn't really an option, but whenever the Eagles were playing, he was always cheering them on. So
Yeah.
it's funny, I texted him about it, and I was like, "You excited for it?" He's just like, "Yep."
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
he, like, barely watches, but yeah, that'll be, it'll be a good game. I'm with you, though. I don't have any hate against the Chiefs. I don't get, like, people who hate Mahomes. I think that's faded. It's like,
Mhm,
dude, the guy's just really good at what he does.
mhm.
But I do understand, like, people just like a shakeup, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, for me, it was like when Lewis Hamilton was just
Mhm,
dominating. It's like, bro, he's
mhm,
in the best car, like Patrick Mahomes on one of the best teams. He's
mhm.
got, like, all the support around him. But yeah, when he wins year after year after year, you're
Yeah.
like, dude, I want something a little different,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, that's the thing, it's like, this is the whole country hated the Patriots. That's
Right.
how they felt, and we went on 7 year or we won 7 titles,
Hell yeah, we did.
like oh, no, 6, 6.
Yeah.
Brady has 7,
Yeah.
but that I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah, those are good times in our lives.
Well, we only know about winning, that's a crazy part. There are
Right.
teams, they've never won won
Yeah.
anything.
Right. What like the Bills? Have the Bills ever won the Super Bowl?
Long time ago, I
Yeah.
think. Long, long
Yeah.
time ago.
Or like the Redskins. When they were the
The
Redskins and now
Commanders,
the
yeah,
Commanders now.
yeah,
Yeah. You know?
mhm,
Like, that's amazing to me because I always remember when they were the Redskins, they were trash, like, pretty much all the time, and then they were the Commanders, and then I heard that they were still trash, and this year, like, I mean, I haven't watched football, like, at all, but yeah, you're telling me they were, like, that close to making it.
yeah,
That's crazy,
yeah.
you know?
All of it's like I mean, it's all strategy, drafting the right players, a little bit of luck too,
Right, right. Yeah,
right players, right people around the players, and then you have success.
yeah,
Whereas, and the Chiefs, they just drafted really well,
yeah,
and they're playing well. So
yeah.
I can't completely hate on it. But when they start comparing Patrick Mahomes to Brady, I'm like, yo, chill out. Granted,
Yeah,
you look
right.
at his stats and you're like, okay, this is
It it is comparable.
crazy. It is very similar, but
Shut your mouth.
I think you do that comparison when you look through his entire career. Like he's
Right,
not at the level of Brady yet. He's got to
right,
play till 45.
right, and I just looked it up, I think he's 29.
Yeah. So he's on record pace. He's doing really good. But
Right.
can he play till that age?
Can he play
Or
through the difficulties
yeah,
and, like, any, bumps that he may have in his
yeah.
career?
But granted, I personally, I don't think he will because I think I mean he's said before like family's the most important thing to him. Like if he wins like 5 Super Bowls, he might be like, dude, I'm good. I'm out."
Right,
Like he signed a 10-year contract with the Chiefs. 10
right,
years, like a whole decade. And if they just keep winning and he's ready to hang out with his family and just like raise his daughter and a son, like, what's the point? Because like you
right.
already played for everything. You got to be a nutcase like Tom Brady to like love football so much to just
Right.
sacrifice everything, which he did
Yeah,
sacrifice everything. But
yeah, in the
you
end.
know, yeah,
But him, he's like, "Who gives a fuck?"
he
But,
won.
knowing
Yeah, yeah,
him, bro, he probably wouldn't take it back. That's how
yeah,
driven that guy is. He's probably just
yeah,
like, "Things happened,
mhm,
unfortunate, but I
yeah,
solidified myself." It's like,
yeah.
damn, you
You
know?
did. Yeah, you did.
Well, it's like that with, with, Max Verstappen in F1. People asked about that, like, "How long you gonna race? Like, you gonna be racing for another decade?" And he's like, "No."
Mhm,
Like, no chance. He's like, "I wanna try to, win more championships, of course." He's like, "But I don't wanna be like, kinda towards Lewis Hamilton, slight to him, But
mhm.
Lewis is like Tom Brady,
Yeah, yeah.
where Lewis, as far as I know, I mean, Lewis has no kids, he has no girlfriend.
Mhm.
Lewis's whole life is racing.
Oh,
Him
yeah.
literally being
Mhm,
like, nobody will ever forget his name. No one
mhm,
will ever question that he is, or if not, he is in the top 2, top 3 discussion as one of the greatest drivers who ever got into an F1 car. Max is like, I want to, like he already is up there, but
mhm.
he's like, I wanna go and enjoy my life. Like, I wanna
Oh, yeah,
go
yeah.
and,
Mhm,
have a kid. I wanna go and relax. Like, he says, "I don't wanna be racing, in my 40s,"
mhm.
you know, which
Oh, yeah.
Lewis is, like, doing that, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the
So
thing,
it's however
yeah.
you wanna do it.
The older you get, the riskier it is. Like, you're doing something that's risky no matter what. So,
Right.
like, I
Right.
in both of these sports. So, if you've already won everything, you just didn't win as much as, like, the number 1 person, but you could.
Right.
Like, do you care? I don't know. Like,
Yeah. See, like, Lewis, like, we're just talking about sports today.
I
Fuck it.
know.
Like
Yeah.
Lewis is like, I don't know if you know, Lewis left Mercedes after all these years.
Yeah,
Now he's
yeah.
driving for Ferrari.
Mhm.
Like Lewis wants that eighth title. No one's
Yeah.
ever gotten that. And he definitely should have fucking at me. He should have won that title
Yeah.
against Verstappen that year. Like, there's
Mhm.
no doubt about it. And I know for a fact that keeps him up at night. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
he needs that.
Mhm.
He will. I don't think he's until he maybe is in a situation where it's so dire that it's not going to happen. He's going to do everything he can to make that happen. And this could be the year
Mhm.
where he actually does do it
Mhm.
because the way that like the teams are like Ferrari's looking good, Red Bull's looking not good anymore. Um everybody's like full in on the Hamilton train. And I'm like that too. I want this guy to win for Ferraris, never race for them, brings them to the glory days, solidifies himself as the undisputed GOAT. No one's hit
Mhm.
8 titles. No one's done it like with all the teams. And he just pieces out. And it's
Yeah.
like, man, we just
Well,
legit witnessed history. Like
yeah.
we lived through this.
That's the thing when, like, Tom Brady's exactly like that. Like, I don't think he wants anyone to come, like, near
Second.
his like,
No.
I know for a fact because he was commentating the Eagles game, and Nick Foles was there, and he made, like, a slight joke. He was like, "Yeah, I could never beat him." That eats him. He can never, ever beat Nick Foles again because
Yeah.
he retired.
Right.
He was one of 2 quarterbacks that beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, and
Right.
that kills him.
Yeah.
That kills him that he can't beat Eli Manning and Nick Foles.
Right. Even though those guys, no one would compare them to him
Yeah.
in like their ability and how good they are, but
Mhm.
he's just like, I could have won 9.
Yeah, he could've. Yeah,
I should
exactly.
have won 9,
Yeah.
Like he'll never let that down,
Yeah. I wanna
Yeah.
he coulda won 10. Actually, yeah, 10.
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
Super Bowls. That's insane. There are people that never make it to 1.
Right, right. It's the same with like these guys in Call of Duty. Like you see these guys who win. I'm sure I'm waiting for the time where there's going to be guys who try to break the record of like Karma and Krim and Clay. Like the
Mhm.
3 rings. Like that's just this number down that we put out where it's like that is the mark. Like that's
Mhm.
the benchmark for how good you can be. And like those guys did it all in different eras. Um like it's not like they won back in the Stone Age when they were playing a bunch of bums. It's like you think of Clay, like Clay won so many different years. Like it's what he won Denial
He won
back on
AW,
yeah, he won what? Yeah, AW, then he won
and Black Ops
was it
4.
what was it AW or did he win Ghosts?
He won AW.
He won AW
Yeah,
and then he won MW 2019 and
and he
then
won Black Ops 4.
yeah, Black Ops
Yeah.
4. It's like he pretty much covered all of the years,
Mhm.
Like he was in the jetpack era and then he goes into the CDL and he still won.
Mhm.
Um, so it's gonna be sick, like in our lifetime to see if there's gonna be guys like I think about Shotzi, like he's got 2.
Mhm.
It's like, dude, he could definitely be that guy to go and get 4 rings.
Mhm.
Like
Dude, well,
absolutely.
Kenny could have had 4. He
Right.
lost in the finals.
Right.
What? No. Yeah, twice.
Yeah, because he lost at Black Ops 4, like on
Mhm.
that insane comeback. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lost
and he
to
lost in
Clay.
World War II.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, he could have had
insane.
4, and I think FaZe and Abizi will be the first ones to hit 4. Like, they just have the best chance,
Yeah.
and, I mean, like, right now, like, we'll go into it. FaZe is good. I mean, they look
They're
like
back,
FaZe
bro.
again. Yeah, and people are like, "We might need to make a switch." And Sal I think Sal had, like, a 1.58 or something, like,
Yeah.
this qualifier. That's insane.
Yeah, bro. They just look like a different team. I mean, they look unbelievable. I actually funny enough, I have it up because I gotta finish it afterwards, looking at the flank from last night.
Mhm.
Yeah, in that game that they had against Cloud9 where they annihilated them, Salim had a 1.43.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Like, yeah, they've just stepped it up. I mean, I remember in a couple episodes ago, I think it was prior to the minor, you and I were both talking about that. Like the potential of them making a change, and at the time, it seemed like that. They were
Mhm.
just not themselves. But again, I'm not saying that, we both were not on the train of like they're definitely going to make a change
Yeah.
because it was always a case of if they ever did something like that, who are they going to get? And then they go and show us exactly why there's nobody that could be and should be replaced on that team.
Mhm.
They are just like a powerhouse. They're unbelievable. They're totally back to like that, top tier form. And I would say right now, they still have to, of course, play Optic and Thieves, even though we could talk about Thieves later. But
Mhm.
Optic definitely looks to be like, a top team. It looks
Mhm.
to be like right now, if I had to rank it, it would probably be FaZe and then Optic.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I mean, our boys in Boston played FaZe, and we got swept against FaZe, and
But we
they
did good this
yeah,
weekend,
we
baby.
did yeah. We didn't look good against FaZe, but we played LA Thieves, and we won map 5, round 11, clutched up. Like, these guys we should have
Oh
won
no,
3-0.
Thieves! No, Thieves. We beat them worse than that.
Did we?
Yeah, we beat
Was it?
it was a, map 5 for sure, but we beat
Mhm.
them like, I think it was 6-2, bro. It was like 6-2,
Oh, it
six
wasn't
three,
round
some
11?
shit. Yeah, I mean, let me go check because you could be right. I'm gonna go look it up. I'm only getting like 2 seconds here. It was
Oh, wait, no,
it was
you're
that we won 6-3 in that
yeah,
search.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We said yeah. Oh, wait, yeah, we won. I'm thinking of round 11 for something else.
You're thinking, I think, of the Thieves Optic match, which that did go around 11
Yeah.
on Hacienda.
Yeah.
Could be
No, it
that.
wasn't that one. I was
Oh,
probably
okay.
just thinking of, like, another round 11. There have been a
Right.
lot of map 5s
There's
in
been a
this game.
ton. There's been a
Uh,
ton.
but yeah, so our boys in Boston won against a top team. Like, they just look good. They look
Right.
really good. And we play FaZe round 1 at the major, which tough hand, but I don't think they're gonna get 3-0'd again. They're gonna go back, talk about what happened, and I mean, they got momentum now going beating the Thieves. If they can beat the Thieves, they can beat FaZe, they can beat Optic.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely. There's nobody that's watching the breach that hasn't just been mind blown by the progress that they've made and like who they've been able to hang with. Um, I was surprised that they lost 3-0. But at the same time, to like what we just said before, I mean, FaZe just looks to be on another level, and Boston is not at that point where they're a top two team. Like it's
Mhm,
just, that's unrealistic saying that right now. They are definitely, I think, after Carolina's struggles and they seem to be on the decline. I think Boston's definitely solidified themselves as like a top four team,
mhm,
like it's like them and Ultra and then Ravens at the bottom. Ultra's still kind of a team that I'm not so sure about as to where they hang because they did play Optic and they got smoked. Um, but yeah, they just look so good. And the thing we've talked about this so many times, and I love this. It was like one of my favorite things about this whole series is they all went negative except Snoopy. Like the
mhm,
one guy who I think he had like a 1.26 or 24 somewhere around there. Like he popped off,
mhm.
but the rest of the team went negative, and everybody on the Thieves went positive,
Yeah,
right? And they still lost.
yeah,
I'm like, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like the kills, like it doesn't matter all the time how much you're
mhm,
slaying out. I'm like, dude, it's the fundamentals. It's how you play. Like they just, as a team, like we've said so much, they're not really a good looking team on paper, but man, the way they play together is like, I mean, it's great. Like
yeah,
they have it really figured out. They know what they're doing. There's no maps and modes that like, I watch them, like I'm some expert, but when I watch them, I'm not like, oh my God, like what a terrible move, you
mhm.
know?
Which last
Uh,
year was like that, like, a lot.
yeah,
They made a lot of questionable plays, and
yeah.
they were dead last in the standings.
Mhm.
because of that. So
Right. Yeah, they really turned it around. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough first match for them against FaZe. I still like I'm gonna put my faith in Boston, of course. Like, I hope that they win that. It's definitely gonna be a very, very difficult match. I mean, that would be like the upset of all upsets, right? If they go
yeah,
into major
yeah,
one and round one, they go and beat FaZe, like that would be insane.
yeah, and it's a land too. That's the other thing. You have to put that into perspective. Like we we've seen them play really, really well online. Land does make a difference. So we'll see how they do against FaZe because these top teams they may look really bad, but when it comes to LAN, they all just do really well.
Well, yeah, and definitely experience comes with that too, and some of
Mhm.
the guys really shine, when they're on land. Again, last year was tough for Boston, just like across the board. But thankfully, this team this year, all those guys have experience. I would say, other than maybe
Mhm.
Purge, like with a lot of land, because wasn't last year his first year in the league, and he
Yeah,
kind of came like halfway through.
yeah,
Um, so I'm hoping that Cammy and Wakening and now Snoopy with a couple years under his belt, I hope they're like a bit more mellow and they're able to execute.
mhm.
Um, because yeah, the guys on like FaZe and especially Thieves, like we talk about them, like everyone's just kind of thinking that they're gonna come back during this major and they're gonna look great, which I think that's gonna happen. I think they're gonna do really well. I would be shocked if that team continued to be placing and like, looking the way they do now, where
Yeah,
they don't look coordinated, they don't look like
mhm.
they've got it together. Um, that would be a real shock if
Yeah,
they showed up that way.
yeah. I mean, that team was built to beat FaZe. So, I mean, I'd be very surprised if this team like got double first rounded. That'd be insane if that happened. But
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. Those guys are just way too talented to get knocked out that early. But crazier things have happened, you know? So,
Right. There's a part of me where I do want that to happen. Where I
oh,
do want yeah, like
Nate's gonna be like, why am I paying you all this money to
right, right,
lose?
right.
This is not
Yeah.
acceptable.
Oh yeah. There's like he's saying I watched a clip when I got home. He was talking about it, and he's hoping and has a really good feeling that they're going to bounce back on land.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but the thing that he said, I think is one of the main points about this is he built that team and thought it was going to be a cakewalk. Like they would just pretty much dominate throughout the entire year. And he's like, I was totally wrong. That
Mhm.
hasn't happened at all. They've struggled. They've had some good moments, but they've struggled. Um, but it just goes to show this year, like all the teams are so close. It's really one of the best years of CDL that we've had in quite a long time. I think there's a few teams at the bottom that are just, really disappointing and unfortunate to see. But the fight for the top and like mid pack realm is stronger than it's ever been.
Mhm.
It's really hard to call some of these matches, which, makes it really exciting.
Yeah, yeah. And Thieves are just again, they're one of those teams where they're gonna go to land and they will do better. And to Nate's point, like you'd much rather lose early than later into the season. You know, like
Yeah.
normally the bottom teams, mid pack teams, can take advantage of the game not being out for so long and win the early majors, but like that's not happening towards the end. And speaking to the bad teams, the tough part is seeing teams like LAG. LAG is one of the teams where everybody knew they did win their last qualifying match, but that's just one of the teams. You look at the team; it used to be the New York Subliners and then plus Lins, and they're not winning
Yeah.
really anything.
Justin, they won, but tell us who they play, bro. Who they
Oh
play?
yeah, okay, yeah, like
That's the
Asper,
thing though. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Like I hear you because I saw it on the flank and it was like exactly how I think most of us were feeling. LAG won. They've had close matches and it's like, yeah, but they went and beat Falcons.
yeah,
And it's like, do you really put a lot of stock into that win? You know,
yeah. I mean, and the thing with the Falcons, they haven't won anything. And what's crazy is this if this team doesn't win like any series, which that would be somewhat impressive if they lost everything.
Right.
Because they have to get one. Like just out of pure luck,
Yeah.
you know, because
Well,
a
they are
bottom team's
talking.
having a really, really bad day.
Yeah, I mean interrupt, but they had. I think there was a stat too with the Vegas Legion a couple years back, or Paris, or whatever year it was, where their record was like 3-16 or like two
Mhm,
and sixteen. It's like they barely won.
mhm.
So I'm hoping that these guys, like you said, they can get one on the board.
Yeah, I mean Boston. What last year? What I think we won 3 games, 3 series,
Yeah,
something like
something like
that.
that.
So yeah, if they lose everything, that's insane.
Well, and that's where I see people get upset about having that team in there.
Mhm,
Um, and I do agree with this. I think if it gets to that point, it's really frustrating because all the talk at the beginning of the year when this team got signed, and we were all like this, everybody was like,
mhm,
why are they signing these guys? Like, who are these people? There are no like top amateurs in like, the US, which I mean, man, it's mainly like it's like US dominant, like
mhm,
in Call of Duty. Like, yeah, we do have like, Hydra who's, from France. Like there's some people from the EU that are really good, but a lot of the people are US. So we get these guys, from Saudi Arabia that we never heard of. And there's clearly a skill gap, like
mhm,
mega time when it comes to these, like mainly in respawn. Their search is solid. Like
mhm,
that's mainly what they play. Um, but I was watching Octane talk about it, and he's like, dude, it's so frustrating because they just make like horrendous decisions all the time. Like they're just
mhm.
making, blatant errors that, other pros are not making. Um, and that's why it's costing them, So now
Yeah,
people have to go and watch this. And here's four guys that now they're also like rotating these guys out because of other situations that are going on. And it's like, what are we really doing? Like I feel
mhm.
bad for Clay. He can only do so much with
Oh,
that
I mean,
team.
I think Clay knows. I mean, he's probably flipping the fuck out, like,
Right.
because he can't even play. Clay
Right.
would be like, realistic, Clay would be better on that team.
Yeah.
Like, him as a player, he could do something,
Right.
but, um, yeah, like, I think people were excited about this team coming in, but we all knew that they were gonna get destroyed. But now it's just getting to the point where, all right, you're taking up a CDL spot. I know this team is here to make Call of Duty grow, like, globally and introduce, new players from a different like region, but you have top amateur players just sitting there waiting that probably should be in the league by now. And this team's in. So it's a tough spot for like those guys and Clay in general. Like Clay is probably just freaking out because he can't even do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a team that clearly doesn't make champs. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Mhm.
They're not going to go, barring, an intervention from God.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. And then that's, the question that you said, how long do people let this go on? Or for them too, how long do they have the angle of their, being a Saudi team and they want to have Saudi players, which is totally respectable. I get that's why they're trying to do it. It's the same thing with Miami, you know.
Mhm.
Um, but does there come a point where they're like, you know what, we've got to make a move here, like for the sake of the org, and like, our outlook, and just our chances at, actually winning events, and like if they want to go to, um, want to make it to champs, they're going to have to probably make some move like that.
Mhm.
And that's where the debate lies. Do they make the change and pick up a US player or a EU player, or do they stay on brand
Mhm.
and, hope that this works out?
Yeah. I mean, I think they keep one person and then they gotta get rid because not all of them are bad. Like, I think their best player, I think his name is, I don't even know how to say it. Exnid?
Yeah, I think so.
Exceed? It's not Exceed.
No,
Ex
no, Xnit is correct.
Exnid,
Yeah.
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 I don't know if I'm saying it right, but, like, he's really good. I think
Yeah.
get rid of the other 3. Sorry. But
Right.
that guy, like, you see moments of, like him shining in games. But
Right.
again, you're only at your best if you have your teammates around you. So can you imagine like Pred goes to that team?
Oh my
Like
god.
just
Yeah.
randomly.
It'd be
But
that'd be absolutely ridiculous.
yeah. But I think after this major, there's gonna be a shakeup, obviously, with team rosters. So I'd be interested to see what happens with that team if they do decide to keep that team or if they shake it up. Because there's gonna be a couple of other teams that shake it up. Like
Right.
Cloud9, if they don't perform to where they wanna be, I mean, obviously they wanna win and everything, but if they place, I don't know, like bottom 6, basically, they're probably gonna make a change.
Yeah.
But I don't know for who. That's a problem.
Yeah, right. I mean, they've got those guys on the bench, because I think one of them had personal issues who was really good. So I don't know. Maybe they got the inside scoop, or they're just banking on that guy coming back, and that could be a
Oh,
good
yeah,
addition to the
for
team.
Falcons.
Yeah, yeah, for them.
Oh, yeah, I was
Uh,
talking about Cloud9.
oh, my bad, my
But yeah,
bad.
yeah. Like I don't
Um,
I think that team's gonna make a change if they don't perform well at Major One.
yeah, I think so too. They, you know, like they had that game against FaZe where they had, some decent moments. I mean, they did walk it back to a map 5 against them, which was impressive.
Mhm.
Um, but they had some moments too where Salium, like, on vaulted the 1v3 on them. And it's
Yeah.
like, you just can't let
I
that happen.
Yeah, I think
Um,
FaZe tossed that one though. Like they should have won 3-0.
yeah, yeah,
Those
I,
guys.
I
They
I
did
would
it to
agree.
themselves.
Yeah. But that team, they just, like, they said they should be a top team. Like they should really be higher up on the totem pole than they are. Especially with the talent that they have. And like, most people call him out on it is Sib as being like the player that hasn't stepped up.
Mhm.
Compared to like his forms that we've seen in other years where he was insane.
Yeah.
Um, and that's the problem with a lot of these teams. Like you need to have everybody all the time on it. If you have one player who's struggling, then it's really tough. It's like same thing with Rocker with Paul X.
Mhm.
Everybody on that team is doing well, but Paul is struggling. He's the
Mhm.
only guy that's negative. And then he had that match against what was it, Vancouver Surge they played, and he lost that 1v1.
Yeah.
Like when he lost that, I was
Yeah.
devastated. I was like, dude,
That was
for
the
like,
weirdest chow though. Like he just like peeked out and reloaded while peeking. Dude, that's something
yeah,
we would do.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. That was
and
that
it
was a
just
heat.
died.
That was a
Yeah.
heat check and a half. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
that's insane. But
Yeah.
again, like when I saw that, I was like, dude, that's a nail in the coffin for Paul, bro. Like he knows he's struggling. He's in his mental, and then he loses the round 11, game 5 like that.
Mhm.
It's yeah, like that's definitely got to hurt.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes. It's going to be the Wild West, I think, after this major.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me if we see some of these players like within teams make some changes. Like, they'd be swapping players. I don't know if we're going to see a ton of new names coming in.
Mhm.
Um, but that's what's exciting. Could be totally wrong. There could be some people that are like top AMs right now.
Mhm.
Or like that guy Neptune. Like I mentioned him a while ago. Apparently he's
Mhm.
like insane right now.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Maybe he could come back. That would be sick.
Yeah. I mean, the major one will be interesting to
Mm.
say the least.
Big time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting.
Mhm.
Um, and I thought we would close too because the other thing that's been kind of interesting is seeing this season 2
Yeah.
launch because they went and put out the roadmap. There's some stuff in here that's actually
I
uh
think the update's today, actually. I think
yeah,
no, tomorrow. Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Season 2
Yeah,
comes out.
yeah,
Yeah.
28th. Yep.
Yeah.
Um, they've got some stuff in here that's actually going to be pretty good.
Mhm.
I mean, right off the bat, bro, for us, like, dude, we're getting blessed. The Warzone people got the middle finger on this one. Like,
Yeah.
they, dude,
They
they
did,
didn't
yeah, they
get
did.
anything.
Yeah.
Like seriously, there's nothing here for them, which is a problem. Well, I didn't say nothing here, but it's like so little.
You know what?
Like where they get gameplay updates,
Yeah.
new perks, and ranked rewards.
Maybe
Oh,
we abandon Warzone completely and just go back to COD multiplayer.
that's an idea.
Make multiplayer great again. Like
Dude, put that on a bumper
just
sticker,
get
bro.
rid of Warzone.
Yeah, dude. I mean, man, that's what it was back in the day. It was just
Mhm.
multiplayer and zombies, and the zombies people are happy. And I mean,
Oh,
us
yeah.
multiplayer people, we're getting some good stuff, and now we're getting this whole crossplay thing for console people. Like things are looking up for us, but the Warzone
Yeah.
people, dude, they're getting fucked, and I feel
Yeah.
bad for them.
I do too. And that just Activision. I don't know. They don't
Dude, they strike again.
do that. Yeah, they do.
Dude,
Um,
Activision works in mysterious ways, bro. You
they
think they're cash cow, that's all they care about? No.
yeah. They're bring back grind from BO2, also from BO4. I'm very happy about that. I don't think it's gonna be in the rotation for competitive at all, but that's just a fun pubs map in general. So I'm excited for that one back in.
I was gonna say, man, this one, I loved this map, back on BO4. I didn't play it much on BO2 because I didn't play as much BO2 as
Mhm.
I probably should have. But BO4, we had some fun time on this map.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's dope.
It's
Um,
colorful, bright.
yeah, very much so. And it's a good flow. Like, it's
Mhm,
just like a solid, map layout. Um, yeah, that's definitely the one I'm most excited for of them because obviously the ones that they have coming in, um, like, we don't really know much about. Um Lifeline looks to be like was it not Skyline? What's the map that was like always on a boat and it's in BO2? It's like in all the Call of Duties. They throw it in there all the time. Do you know what I'm talking about? That
Hijack?
yeah.
Yeah.
It like it's given that kind of vibes. Bullet is given the same thing. Like I'm over here asking you all the maps here because I don't remember the name of them. Bullet's like the one that same thing. It's in BO2, was in Cold War. Um, It's like I wonder if some of these maps here, like those ones in particular, they
Mhm,
don't look to be and same thing with dealership too, but they're the ones, Lifeline and Bullet. They don't seem to be from campaign missions.
mhm,
I wonder if they're kind of taking ideas from old maps and they're trying to rework them and maybe like kind of disguise it, like just do an update to it instead of a full remaster like we're getting with Grind.
mhm.
Because I wouldn't mind that. I like some of the
Yeah.
concepts of those older maps, but like a fresh take on it?
Yeah, I mean, as long as they don't just keep pulling maps from the campaign. I mean, it's just annoying when they do that. Granted, like, I think they can do that. You can do it in the right way, but they don't. So, don't do it.
Most of the time, those maps that they take from the campaign suck,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, because 'cause
Like,
they're
they're taking
designed
that
for the campaign.
right, they're taking
Yeah.
that one bounty, and I don't think dealership was a mission in the campaign with all the cars, it could have been, but bounty definitely was,
Mhm.
and I think the guys on the flank looked at, like, the hardpoint rotations, you see that?
Yeah, where P2 and P4 were, they're on top of each other.
Bro, yeah, it's like, when I see stuff like that, I'm just like, "Oh, yeah, this map's gonna be chalked." Like, there's no chance
Yeah.
they play this in competitive, and then
Mhm,
even for us in the rotation, it's like, dude, having to play that in pubs, playing a
mhm.
hard point, screw that.
Yeah.
Like, just seems like a disaster.
Any map with, like, a bunch of verticality in COD is not good. Like, too much verticality. I think that map specifically, I couldn't tell, obviously. I could only look at the aerial view of the map, but it seems like there's a lot of levels on it, which
Right.
I don't think you want.
Yeah, dude, I hate that in some maps. Like that's like the thing with Skyline. Like it's
Mhm,
got that whole underground area. Like I just I don't ever use that stuff.
mhm.
But to me it's just like too much. It's like,
Yeah,
dude, just keep like we think of grind. Like grind's just the map. That's it.
yeah.
There's zero verticality to that map other than just like I guess you want to call it like when you spawn not like on the back of the ramps, but you spawn like on the other side and you
Mhm.
have that window that looks down towards like
Yeah.
the bottom window,
That's the
Like
only verticality, I guess.
yeah, and like the
Yeah.
staircase off to the left. So yeah, two staircases, that's
Yeah.
the only way that you have any verticality. Um yeah, I don't mind that, but where there's like multiple levels to stuff, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either. They need to go back to what old COD maps were.
Right. So they're doing that and then there's also this what was it? This slipstream perk that they're adding in. Do you see this?
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't read too much into it though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like from what I gather, what they're saying it. Let's see if I can find it actually, because I thought I saw it not too long ago. Um, but it's cool too that they're actually adding in a perk. I like that.
Mhm,
I don't think we've really gotten any new like new perks added like that in a long time into COD.
mhm.
Um, At least it just doesn't seem like it um, from like what I'm thinking of, like just a couple years ago. But it seems to be like what they're doing is they're just going to be like changing the base speed of what like how you move,
Mhm,
um, which I think that's cool.
mhm.
But to me, this is just like a cry for like that should be the new movement, and they should just get rid of the tax sprint. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like I haven't seen this movement in action yet, but it seems like it just speeds it up a little bit, so you're
Mhm.
not as slow. You know, I guess kind of like lightweight to an extent.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, if that's, like, where they're going with that, and they're trying to speed up the game a bit, I mean,
Mhm.
I'm all for that, but to me, like, seeing movement changes like this, that to me just it's like, dude, they know what needs to be done. Like,
This
we're
is, Treyarch's way of trying to get around of what Activision, like, is trying to do, and he's like, "Look, we know people hate Tac-Sprint, let's try to make some people not use it."
right, right. Like, yeah, I'm trying what it says here, yeah, actually, I'm trying to see what it if they actually have the name of it here. Yeah, it raises their base sprint speed at the cost of removing tax sprint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, bro, of course. Like,
So what COD should be.
right,
Yeah.
right. Like, dude, can you imagine we'll go and throw that on, it's gonna be like a throwback, be like, "Dude, this
Yeah.
is what it should have always been,"
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, I like that they're doing that, like I said, it is a sneaky way just to kinda get around what Activision's trying to have them do,
Mhm,
um, so, yeah, I'm excited for that. It definitely seems like it's gonna be, like, not, like, game changing, but
mhm.
kind of in a way, yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine if competitive was like, "Okay, we can't turn off tax sprint, but everybody has to use this perk."
That would be sick.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
I
Forcefully moving tax sprint removing tax sprint.
Right, and it just becomes a perk that every dev down the line, that's their loophole for
Yeah.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
It's like, "Hey, if you wanna do this, this is what you do. You just
Mhm.
go and throw Slipstream on." Or what they could do now is they just have it be like a wild card thing where it's like, "Oh, yeah, it's an auto
Yeah.
thing. You just throw it in there, and you
Mhm.
can keep it all the time." Um, yeah, so this is, a nice W from Treyarch that they get to add this in.
Mhm.
Um, and then the other thing too that I guess was the main one, well, they're adding the War Machine back, which is cool. I'm not like caring too much about that, honestly.
Yeah.
We'll see how it is. Um, but they're adding in some guns. So they're adding in the PPSH, which is coming back.
Mhm.
This was the one everyone was excited about. People were speculating what it was. And then they've got a couple of I think the two guns here. Yeah, this AR, the Cypher, and then the Feng 82
Mhm.
LMG. No one cares about it. But the Cypher, which is an AR, I don't know. It kind of looks like the Maddox, slight
Yeah.
Maddox vibes. I
Mhm.
have no idea if it's gonna play like that. They didn't just totally bring that name back like they did with the SOG,
Mhm.
so I don't know. Um, but I always like having some new guns. Again, I always get worried though every year that when they add in these guns that like the PPSH is going to be a broken mess
Yeah.
or you know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
like the only concern with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm, like, ready to try out the PPSH. I have a feeling it's just gonna be like a pea shooter,
Yeah,
which, I mean, whatever. I'd rather it be kinda bad than, like, completely overpowered. And then I think the Cypher will it looks like a fun gun to use. It looks like it's gonna be a high fire rate, but low damage type of
right,
AR. And then I'll probably try out the Fang and the TR2. The TR2 just looks like every other marksman rifle.
right, right.
So, but yeah, I mean, they're adding gun game in.
Thank God,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, dude.
Keep the game
Keep
mode.
this in. Keep it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Like I get, I say it all the time, man. We dealt with this like every year. They come up with good ideas for these game modes or they bring
Mhm.
in these party modes and then they get rid of it.
Yeah.
Um, gun game, I swear to God, it's going to be in there for like 3 weeks, and then they're gonna get rid of it. They're gonna
Yeah.
put some other old mode in there. Like, bro, can't we just have a playlist of like back in the day where it was like core, hardcore, and then
Mhm.
it had all of them in there. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, just go and have it be like third one party modes, or like extra modes, and it's like 2v2s, 3v3s, 1v1s, gunfight, sticks
Mhm.
and stones, whatever, like, or prop hunt. Just leave them all in there. Don't
Yeah.
touch them.
Just yeah, don't touch them. Just leave them. Um,
Yeah.
and then, like you said, they're zombies. They're adding a new zombies map, which this map looks sick. They've been doing a pretty good job with zombies this season or
Yeah.
this year in general. So yeah, Warzone just got screwed.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like closing on this, I'm excited for this season. I mean, I'm still playing COD. Like, I know
Mhm.
you are too. Like, we've been enjoying everything. My thing is with this is that I don't know if this season two, like what they're adding here, is going to be enough hype to bring people back from all the people that have just either abandoned COD altogether or
Mhm.
they've just swapped over to Marvel Rivals. Like, that's obviously the intent with this. Like, I think a
Yeah.
lot is riding on this season two.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't think it's enough to bring anyone back. Like, I think the people will come back to play zombies, but as soon as they beat the Easter egg and like, you know, run it a couple rounds, then it's over. But it's not like anything in here is just super, super exciting, you know, where like Marvel Rivals, I'm never gonna go and play that game. Just it's just not a game. Like I've watched it, but I just know I wouldn't enjoy that game. And also, I got other games I actually want to play. Like, uh, but yeah, I don't know. Like a lot of people are saying that this COD's probably the lowest that it's ever been, which is kind of true. But at the same time, um, will this season two really bring back everyone? I highly doubt it. But the CDL is still good to watch.
CDL's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, CDL is definitely good. Zombies is good. Warzone is not good.
Mhm.
But for like a casual multiplayer, especially if you're on console, since they're doing that anti cheat for ranked, well, not anti cheat, doing the crossplay, turning it on
Mhm.
and off. For us, it's good. But
We can turn it
there's a
off
ton of
and
people.
go undefeated again.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah, but all the people in the PC realm are still just kind of
Yeah.
waiting, and a lot of people are in general.
Mhm.
Like, they just want to, have that level of security before they play. So, yeah, it's exciting. Like for us, we're gonna be talking about it once we play it. I'm looking forward to season two. I'm more looking forward to next week since we got well, no, is it next week or the week after that we got major one?
Major ones this week,
Yeah.
Thursday. So it'll be over by the time we record the next
Yeah.
episode.
Like, I'm looking forward to talking about that and seeing that go down than playing season 2.
Yeah.
Um, and I think a lot of people are like that too.
Yeah, that falling competitive, definitely. I
Yeah.
saw um some random person commented on one of our Instagram reels and was like, competitive Call of Duty, you're the reason why COD's dying. And I'm like, what? That is an awful take because they're not trying to please anyone like in the competitive scene. What are you talking about? Like your casuals are killing their own game. Like what?
Yeah, that's one of the worst takes I've ever seen, bro.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw that guy's comment. I'm like, I'm not even gonna respond. There's no fucking point, you know. And then actually, I saw another one that was like unrelated to that, but it was our most recent Instagram reel, and this guy said, um, "Not every job you can just take time off. Seems like you guys have never worked a 9 to 5 before or worked a job." I'm like, okay,
dude,
that
these are the people.
not gonna defend it because
No.
there's no point.
Right, no,
I
yeah,
looked
that
at
we
it, I sighed. I'm like, okay, like,
You lost another, like, 1 HP in humanity. You're like,
yeah,
"Forget it. This
okay,
guy's fucking hopeless."
yeah,
Yeah. No, dude, there's no point defending people like that.
yeah,
Buck 'em.
but
Stupid.
yeah. Uh, and then I wanted to bring up like a comment that someone made.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
this person's it was to our episode 204,
Okay.
and the question was, let me pull it up here. Um, come on. Oh wait, no, it was just a normal comment. Someone said, that the game's okay. They're definitely struggling to enjoy this with all the settings and tweaking like every update and all the audio issues. I think we've talked about that. Like these, they're not fixing what actually needs to be fixed. And then someone literally just commented and said that they've officially thrown in the towel. I would like to go back to Cold War and MW19 days. I reflect on old clips of listening to a song called Magic by Medicine and May and Son. I don't know what that is. You
Yeah,
probably have a better idea than me.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, I don't blame a lot of people trying to throw in the towel. I still think this game's really fun, but there's a lot, they can do with it.
It's gonna be again, it's gonna be a COD that people come back to, like in the subsequent years. It's like Cold War. I mean, I don't blame that guy. Um, Faded for going back to MW 2019. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Leave that in the dust. I never want to touch that game again. But Cold War for sure. Like I would go back and play Cold War, no
Mhm.
problem. But to that point though, man, like I'm curious with some other people because you and I never do that. We never go back and play old CODs like during an off season of the CDL. Most people do like towards the end of the game life cycle, they go back and play something else.
Mhm.
We did that 1 year with MW19 to BO4, but that was like an extreme situation.
Mhm.
But like, yeah,
We
I
didn't even
last
have the podcast then.
right, yeah, but like
Yeah.
back when we played, Cold War and MW19 or going into Vanguard, like all those years, we just stuck with the year,
Mhm.
and I'm still like that. I'm not gonna go and re-download or go over to play Cold War. Like
Mhm.
I never will. That game to me is pretty much totally dead. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with MW3, like the OG MW3.
Mhm.
One of my favorites of all time. Like, I mean, it's been over a decade since I last played that game.
Yeah. That's
And
the
it's
thing.
like
I
it just stays there.
Yeah. I know we've had our glory days and our time on on all these games. So, like, I don't see why I need to go back and like, I'm not gonna replicate it. I'm not gonna replicate that feeling that the time that was playing that game.
Yeah, because there's something to be said about when that's the game and that's the grind.
Mhm.
Like for me, if I loaded up Cold War, there's nothing to grind. Like
Yeah.
it's an old game. I'm not driven.
Mhm.
Like I don't really in a sense I don't care about it anymore. I'm like again, it had its time when that was the prime game to play and
Mhm.
I was motivated, but now there's no motivation for me to play it anymore, you
Yeah,
know.
that I mean, that's like a lot of the games that I play. Like, I'll play it, I beat it, I'm done with it because
Right.
I already beat the campaign. There's nothing else that I want to do at least.
Right. Right.
So, but yeah,
Leave it on that. Ask that question. Do you go back and play old games? I have no idea. I mean, I don't.
yeah,
I go back and play old single player games, but old CODs ain't no chance,
yeah. Do you
you
do you
know?
guys think season 2 is it? Do you think it's gonna bring back
Do you think it's
Black
cooked?
Ops 6? Or are we on to 2025's COD?
Yeah,
Which is
exactly.
crazy because I remember when Black Ops 6 came out and everybody was saying, "This is I." It's every year, but
Yeah,
Treyarch and the thing is, this game's fun. It's just
right.
crazy that like that. This is a fun game.
Well, dude, whatever they come up with next, AW2, everyone's gonna be hyped for it. Everyone's gonna see jetpacks
Mhm.
being like, "Dude, we're back, baby." 2 months later, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
everyone's gonna hate the game.
It,
It's
if
gonna be the
they
same
bring
deal.
back jetpacks, I think that would be the most fun that like you and I at least will have. Like just because we have to learn again,
Yeah.
like
Dude, and we'll be
that'll be a
playing with
shift.
scuffs.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, we'll be that'll be final form, bro.
yeah. That
That'll
would
be
be a
peak.
huge change, and
Yeah.
that would shake a lot of things up, and it would be so much fun.
Yeah, jetpacks coming back to COD would be like a dream come true. I
Yeah,
want that so bad. Just because I wanna absolutely dance on people with it, you know?
yeah.
Like, it
The
would be great.
the last time we played a jetpacks COD was BO3, and
Yeah.
what that game came out in like 2013, I think,
Yeah, let
and
me let me actually go look that
I
up
think it
because
was
I'm
2013.
2015.
2015.
Dude,
2015 to 2016.
we're coming up on a decade, bro.
Yeah. So that was the last time we touched jetpacks.
Yeah. Like, goddamn. It's been
Yeah.
a minute. We need to come back to it.
Yeah. So
Like,
I would welcome that change.
oh, 100%. I'd be totally down for it.
Imagine this Omni movement with the jetpacks.
Dude, take me out. It'd be
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. You dive backwards, you dive into a
Just
boost. You're
both.
boosting
Yeah.
backwards, bro.
Yeah.
It'd
Dude.
be
You
crazy.
slide into a
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah.
Jump
Oh
up.
my god. Yeah. It would be chaos.
Yeah.
Like the hardware would need to keep up with that. It would be like breaking.
Yeah. I welcome that. I
Yeah.
want that.
Me too. But yeah, man, I think that's it for things we wanted to talk about today. I mean,
Yeah.
we got our football talking, so hopefully
Yeah.
people stuck through that because it's important stuff. It's coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna be watching it for sure.
Mhm.
And then yeah, big thing too, like we'll be talking about the major after Boston Breach wins it. They win
Mhm.
everything, of course. This is actually not even that faded, saying that they could win. I mean,
Honestly, yeah.
the chances are slim, but I mean,
But
dude, the stars could fucking align for them. Like,
yeah. It's
you
not
know.
as slim as it used to be.
Yeah, last year
Like
we were just saying that and we knew it was a total lie, but it's like now this year it's like, dude, they could make it to Saturday for sure. They could make it
mhm.
to Sunday. Like crazier things have happened.
Exactly.
So we'll see. But yeah, again, I think that's it. So everybody who's listening, thank you
Mhm.
so much for listening. Be sure to go to anchor.fm/COD Casuals since we're there on all the platforms. Of course, go into our Instagram and TikTok. If you want to go and watch shorter clips of it, we just chop it out there and put them over there. And then as well, go into the YouTube since we just go and post the whole video there. Be sure to go and comment and subscribe since we're going to be posting stuff there. And then we're going to, of course, just be updating on the YouTube, making sure that things we do here are worthwhile over the YouTube. So be sure to just be up to date over there. And then, of course, going to Twitter. That's where we're pretty much tweeting all the time. So if you want to give us a follow, stay engaged in the community, be sure to join the COD Casuals community and rate 5 stars
Yep.
always.
5
And I think
stars
that's it.
only.
Yes. I think we're good, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. Cool. So again, everybody, thank you so much for listening to episode number 207 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike,
I'm Justin.
and we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.